Welcome back, Eagles. We're excited to bring you a new episode of PNN in the new year.
In this episode, we'll take a look at North's selection of school lunches and how these meals are distributed to students.
Next, we'll examine the long-lasting effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on healthcare facilities.
Finally, we'll take to the sky to see how a Plymouth North senior is pursuing her unique passion in aviation.
Get ready, Plymouth North.
It's time for PNN. Welcome to the new year, Plymouth North. I'm Gabby Lopes.
And I'm Nicole Reitzel. This year, my New Year's resolution is to be more grateful.
What do you mean by that, Nicole?
Well, something that we could all be grateful for is the hard work of our lunch staff.
Sadie and Annalise take us through the process of how school lunch is sourced, sizzled, and served at Plymouth North.
Many students come into the cafeteria looking for what's on the menu or where to sit. The students have a variety of meal choices, but what is going on in the kitchen to put the meal on the tray? Plymouth Public Schools has been providing students with a guaranteed free breakfast and lunch for the past 4 years. A big reason for that is Mr. Patrick Vancott, the Director of Food Services for Plymouth Public Schools.
A lot of the grocery items to get delivered directly to North, South, South Middle, and then PCIS. And then all the other groceries come into PCIS and from there to all the elementary schools. So we have full trucks going out every single day.
PCIS plays a crucial part unaware to many, as it is a hub because it can accommodate for making lunches for large amounts of students. Once the food gets to Plymouth North, the Plymouth North cafeteria staff take it from here. Miss Tracy Dickerson and Miss Danielle Kiefer are just two part of this team who make the school lunches enjoyable for students.
So there's 4 full-time people, so that we all contribute. You know, someone sets up the deli, someone has to do all the slicing of all the cold cuts. We prepare food for Harbor Academy that we ship out, and then we all just get involved in helping so that we have a great assortment of lunch items.
The numbers of students getting school lunch has increased by 20% since 2020, which helps the school system receive federal funds. The increased funding means better quality food, more variety for students to choose from, and new recipes. Sean Coleman has positive remarks on his experience.
I've been getting school lunch all 4 years. It benefits me because it saves me money and I can keep some money in my bank account. It doesn't run my pockets.
Since so many students participate in the free meal, a lot of food can go unused, but math is involved to accommodate the fluctuating numbers.
Single school keeps production records. And then you go back and look at it, and from the last time, and you say, okay, cool, this was served on a Tuesday, this many kids were absent, and then you can sit there and predict how much you're going to serve.
Want to prevent leftovers? Your opinion matters.
One of the things they could definitely change is the variety. I think sometimes it gets a little dry with the same stuff, and if they could make it a little different every day, I think it'd be pretty good.
My favorite school lunch is breadsticks.
Pizza, breadsticks,
Nachos! Putting food on your tray takes time, dedication, and logistics. Student feedback is wanted and taken into account. So next time you want to share your thoughts, reach out to these sources in person or via email. Reporting for PNN, I'm Sadie Terrell.
Our lunch staff is essential in assuring that Plymouth North has quality meals. However, another essential aspect of the Plymouth community has faced a setback since the COVID-19 pandemic. Ollie and Nyla discuss how healthcare workers had to confront, adapt, and overcome the scarcity of resources within their industry.
Just 4 short years ago, the world as we know it came to a halt from COVID-19. While the pandemic is just a moment of the past for most, its effects still plague our hospitals today. With lack of nurses and increasing expenses, the healthcare system is being taxed more than we've ever seen.
One of the biggest changes I've seen is that for quite a few years, people did not go and seek care for their health because they were afraid of getting COVID from coming to an organization. Maybe they were post-COVID, or they just are staying in their house because they're scared. So now we have, a few years later, an influx of patients that all need care now, and because of COVID, we have less staff to take care of them.
We've also seen people sort of waiting to get care until after the pandemic was over, so all of that preventative care wasn't done, and so people are sicker now.
In an already difficult position, Kara Pomeroy has to take on some extra responsibility.
To remove the stress from my team. So trying to take a lot of that on my shoulders so that it wasn't trickling down to them. I try in my position to be a buffer for them, and it was very difficult to do that because at that time I was in the trenches with them. So we were on the same playing field and we were getting dirty together. So I think it builds a camaraderie.
Another way hospitals are dealing with lack of staffing is to bring in travel nurses who are paid to move across the country to provide more support for hospitals.
They get paid a bit more to do the same thing we're doing, but they're traveling and they're away from their families or their children, and they are housed, they're given money to put towards housing as well on top of their wage.
According to the Massachusetts Nurses Association, 85% of nurses say hospital care quality has deteriorated over the last 2 years. 53% say hospitals that rely on travel nurses have worse care, and 71% of nurses say that the biggest obstacle to delivering quality care is understaffing or having too many patients at one time.
We had COVID happen, and in terms of nursing and healthcare, we've sort of done things traditional for a long time. We need to look at changing it up, look at making it a place where people want to come and work, and so things like flexible scheduling, paying for people's education in order to recruit people. Really, I think that's the most important thing. We need to get people to come back into the field.
Physical toll on staff, but also demanded a certain amount of mental strength in order to come to work every day.
Being the intensive care unit, we work with the sickest patients and the patients that were dying. We've been affected greatly. I think it brought everyone together as a team stronger because of the trauma that we endured.
PNN thanks all healthcare workers. Their hard work and determination does not go unnoticed. With them, we live in a safer, happier, and healthier world. Reporting for PNN, I'm Ollie Durgan.
Thank you, Ollie and Nyla, for bringing awareness to this ongoing issue. Wait, Nicole, what is that?
Is that a bird?
It's a plane.
I think you're right. And it looks like there's a Plymouth North student flying it.
That's Tess Whealen, Plymouth North senior and aspiring pilot.
What do you want to be when you grow up is a common question heard by nearly all high school students. Answers may vary, but it's not often that people reply with a pilot. However, senior Tess Whealen has known for years that flying is her passion. Let's take to the sky as Tess kickstarts her pilot career before graduation. Female pilots are quite rare, although we have seen a growth over the last few decades in the amount of women pilots. According to the FAA, only 9.57% of pilots are women. This is why Tess Whealen's mother feels so strongly about her daughter's ambition to become a pilot in such a male-dominated field.
She told me she was interested, and my job as a parent is to facilitate the best I can to get her to her goals. So luckily we have an airport here in Plymouth, a little local community airport, and I called them to ask them what the deal is, and they asked me to bring her down, so we brought her down. Came down from the flight, was extremely excited and wanted to pursue it, so we just kept booking lessons.
For Tess, it was love at first flight.
I've always loved flying, so that's when I already knew I had already this fawn over flying and planes, so I was already like, okay, let's try to see more into this. For my future, I definitely want to be a commercial pilot.
Tess's flight lessons teach her everything she needs to know to safely operate a plane.
You have to make sure that the plane is completely safe. That's the first thing. You have to triple check your plane to make sure it has gas. You have to make sure the wings are okay. You have to make sure everything's okay, the tire pressure, everything. There's a ground school as well. It could be split up, so you have ground school for 1 hour and then you have flying for another hour.
The student will do the pre-flight, and then past that, it'll usually be kind of a briefing on what we're going to do today. Past that, get in the plane, start her up, fly, come back, and then there'll be a little bit of a debrief after.
I definitely recommend teenagers to do this because it's like a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do it. If you really, really want something, then I think that you should try it out, even if you're afraid of doing it.
Definitely think anyone who is interested should give it a try, and even if you're afraid of it, just got to give it a try and see if it's for you.
We can't wait to see where Tess's pilot career takes her after high school. We wish her the best of luck. Reporting for PNN, I'm Gabby Colarusso.
Thank you, Maggie and Gabby. Through flight lessons, Tess is clearly elevating her future. Likewise, many athletes at Plymouth North are taking steps to enhance their game. Lily and Simon bring attention to some of our very own college recruits.
I'm Annalise Lopes, and I'm going to Westfield State for field hockey. Go Owls!
I'm Josh Bryant. I'm committed to play baseball at St. Anselm College.
I'm Killian. I'm committed for football at Bridgewater State.
I'm DC Brown. I'm playing baseball. I'm committed to WPI.
I'm George Slauson. I'm going to St. Anselm to play baseball next year.
I'm Cody Quinn. I'm committed to play baseball at Keene State College.
I'm Seamus Whiting, committed for football at Bridgewater State.
I'm Will Bergendahl, and I'm committed to Nichols for tennis.
Every year, over 500,000 students commit to play sports at the collegiate level, and Plymouth North contributes to that number in a big way.
Most students start thinking actively about playing a sport in college, like the end of their sophomore or beginning of their junior year.
The process went a little differently for junior Addie Pye.
I started the recruiting process probably going into my freshman year.
Although it varies from sport to sport, college coaches can begin reaching out as early as June 15th of sophomore year. However, there is a dead period throughout the months of July and August. The contact period picks back up on September 1st of junior year.
They got in touch with me on September 1st going into my junior year, and I knew I was interested, and they told me like I was their top 3 recruit, and I was like, oh wow, like that's crazy.
Other athletes took the more traditional route.
So you just send out your times to all the coaches. Like I sent out to like 70 coaches. Then they'll slowly respond to you. Then you'll keep sending updates of your times, like if you get faster and faster throughout the year. So I just kept sending them emails about how I'm doing. Then you set up phone calls with them. Beginning of senior year is when you really should narrow it down and have your decision.
This is a rigorous process, as coaches repeatedly invite students to phone calls, camps, and official visits. As students weigh their options, coaches do too.
Deciding between two kids is always hard. To kind of go on the personality of recruit, how they are as a person, their family is a big one. It's kind of just seeing the vibe of who fits better.
When a student finds their ideal school, there's still a few more steps. Students, such as Pye, begin with a verbal commitment. A verbal commitment is non-binding, as both the coach or athlete can back out at any time. During their senior year, athletes sign a national letter of intent. This can be done from home or during a ceremonial signing day. An athlete's commitment is only binding once a letter is signed and their enrollment deposit is submitted.
That, there's a lot of thinking to it. It's not a spur-of-the-moment thing that you can do, and sometimes maybe I call it the right time.
Recruiting can make the college process even more complicated, but it gives student athletes a chance to explore their sport at a higher level. Good luck to anyone who's going through the recruiting process. Reporting for PNN, I'm Lily Johnson.
With collegiate training, one of these students could become the next big celebrity athlete. For now, however, let's take to the halls to see celebrity lookalikes at Plymouth North.
Hi, baby looks like this one.
I had 3.
Hi, Candy Rich looks like Nina Dobrov or Katerina Petrova.
I would have to say it's either going to be Timothy Chalamet or like a Channing Tatum.
I am Ryan Gosling.
Meghan Markle.
I've been told I look like Kanye West.
Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
When I was younger, I was told that I had better hair than I do now. I was told I looked like Harry Connick Jr. Then I had a phase in my life I was told I looked like Troy Aikman.
Another one.
Dallas Cowboys. And now that I'm older and uglier, I've been told I look like Rodney Dangerfield at times.
Another one.
So take whatever one you want and have a good day.
Bart Simpson? No, it's not Bart Simpson.
It's really accurate.
The guy, no wait, Bling from Let It Shine.
Okay, I think that Izzy looks like Halia Beamer.
And I think that Anna looks like Layla from All American.
Which I don't see at all, but
I've been told that I look like Tom Selleck on multiple occasions, so.
I'm Ed Sheeran.
Hang on.
Some people say I look like Lewis from Meet the Robinsons, but I think I look like LeBron James.
Well, I've been told many times that I look like Sally Fields.
My celebrity lookalike is Johnny Tedatolis.
My celebrity lookalike is Emily Golian.
Wow. Some of those are really accurate and some are not.
Let's rate the celebrity lookalikes of some of the PNN team using the Celebs app. First off, we have myself. The Celebs app says that I look like Jennifer Lopez. What do you think, Gabby?
I don't think it's very accurate.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it either. I would rate it 4.
4.
Moving on, we have Annalise. The Celebs app says that Annalise looks like Jacob Sartorius. What do you think, Gabby?
It's weirdly accurate. I'd rate it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give it a solid 8.5. Finally, we have Simon, who is compared to Tony Lopez on the Celebs app. What do you think, Gabby?
Sorry, Simon. I don't think it's very accurate. I give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't see Simon's future in the Hype House. I would give it a 3 out of 10.
Before we conclude this episode of PNN, here are some news and notes.
Term 2 report cards will be distributed during last period today. We hope you're proud of what you're taking home. Boys and girls basketball has a double header at Whitman Hanson tonight. Come watch the girls at 5 p.m. and the boys at 6:30 p.m. Support our a cappella groups tonight and tomorrow in the PAC for their New England Voices Festival. Doors open at 7 p.m.
Felicitaciones, and congratulations to all the members inducted into the World Language Honor Society. The ceremony was held on the 18th for new inductees. This weekend, Model UN delegates will be traveling to Boston to debate and resolve international issues. We wish them the best of luck. Pack the stands at Rockland Ice Rink on Wednesday the 27th. Boys hockey is playing against Whitman Hanson at 3:50 p.m.
That's all our news and notes for now.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at pnn.2024 for more updates.
Thanks for tuning in to the first PNN episode of 2024.
But not the last. See you soon, Plymouth North. Go Eagles!
That's all our news and notes for now.
I took too long to say.
Yeah. It's your line, buddy.
Oh.
Okay, Gabby, we don't need to be doing
Oh.